The regular meeting of the South County Board of Education will be called to order. Roll call. Thomas Blakely.
Here.
Brian Casey.
Here.
Stephanie Cogan here. Vincent Lorenzo.
Here.
Rose Gigliello.
Here.
Jennifer Houlihan.
Here.
Michael Keane.
Here.
David Keel.
Here.
Christopher Larrabee.
Here.
And Robert Misick.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Agenda item number 3, approval of the minutes. These are the minutes from the regular meeting of December 9th, 2025, and the special meeting of January 6th, 2026. Please look them over. If there are any edits or comments, we'll talk about them now. Hearing none, I'll take a motion. Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Blakely. On the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Blakely, that the minutes of the regular meeting of December 9th, 2025, and the special meeting of January 6th, 2026 be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Agenda item number 4, awards and recognitions. Up first is the 2025 NYSSMA Zone 7 Area All-State Musical Festival. 8 high schools, our Colony Central High School students participated in the 2025 NYSSMA Zone 7 Area All-State Musical Festival at the historic Proctor's Theater in Schenectady on November 21st and 22nd. Students selected to participate based on high scores from last spring's NYSSMA solo evaluation, as well as teacher recommendation. All Colony Central High School students performed at level 5 or 6 and scored well. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Peter Canistracci. Mr. Canistracci.
Thank you so much for having us, and thank you for inviting these music students to be recognized at this meeting. If you haven't met them because of their musical abilities, you will meet them because they also excel in academics and athletics, and they are presidents of every club you can think of. And so they're just all around wonderful kids. But today we're going to talk about them for music. So we had 8 students selected to participate in this year's Area All-State Music Festival, which was held in November at the historic Proctor's Theater in Schenectady. Hi, come on in. The opportunity for them to perform in such a magnificent concert hall is such a great experience for them as a young adult. It's one that I did not have until I was grown, a teacher myself. So for them to have that experience as a young adult is just awesome. This is sort of the musical equivalent of regionals for athletics. For athletics, we talk about sectionals. That would be sort of like our Suburban Council Music Festival. Regionals would be this area all-state, and then the next would be all-state for the entire state, which is held every year in Rochester. So this is the regional level. And this all starts with the students doing a NYSSMA solo last spring. That's when they prepare a musical solo to play by themselves for a judge, an adjudicator, and they received comments and a score. Based on how they did at that last spring, they are invited for other opportunities, such as Area All-State. And as you said, Mrs. Cogan, all of these students performed at level 5 and level 6, which are the 2 highest levels of difficulty, and all of them received scores above a 90. So they certainly did very, very well. There were 330 students involved in this music festival from 41 school districts in northeastern New York. Albany County, Schenectady County, Saratoga and Warren counties up north, Washington and Rensselaer counties to the east, and to the west, Montgomery County, Fulton County, and even going up into Hamilton County. So this is a very select event, and we were thrilled to have 8 students from Colony High School. I have 6 of them here tonight. There was some kind of swim event that was happening tonight, so a couple of them could not be here. So the first one I want to introduce to you is Argam Al-Ghazuli, who played violin with the orchestra. Tiffany Dew, who is a string bassist, could not be with us tonight due to a lifeguarding course that she is involved in, but Tiffany Dew, who plays string bass. Nicholas Coley, who's a senior who plays string bass, also played with the orchestra. Grace Manayak, who is a senior, played viola with the orchestra. And I want to give special recognition to Grace because when many of the students arrived at the Area All-State Music Festival, they had to do a seating audition to determine where they sit in the ensemble. They had to play a small excerpt of music that they had been preparing. And then based on how they did, they were ranked and seated accordingly. And Grace was seated first chair in the
Wow,
viola section.
wow.
Obviously some excellent training, right? Bryce Penpraise, a senior, played tuba with the band. Grant Pollock, another senior who plays viola, who tonight could not be here, he's at the swim meet in Saratoga. Aiden Patka, who plays tuba, a junior, but played with the band. And Abby Sansbury represented our school in the chorus. She is a soprano. And also wanted to give recognition to Abby. I know at one of your previous meetings, you were talking about the Melodies of Christmas concert at Proctor's Theater. And Abby is the One Colony student that was involved in the chorus for Melodies of Christmas. So, and I was watching, and I believe you got some airtime this year too.
You did.
You looked great, so that was awesome. So those are our 8 students that were involved in Area All-State this year. Thank you so much for inviting them to be recognized at tonight's meeting.
Very good. Congratulations. Yeah, we will take a picture, but first I do want to say congratulations. This is quite an honor for all of you kids. And as a mom of 2 students who went through our music program, kudos also to the parents. I know as a mom of a cellist who had to drag that cello along to all the events, and of a violinist, thank you to the parents who put many miles and filled up the gas tank and went to all the restaurants and did all the stuff for your kids. Congratulations to you too. You deserve kudos also. Yeah, if we'd like to take a picture, we can certainly do that.
Sure.
Right up here, right up front, sure.
All right, so 6 of you, why don't you come forward here, grab a quick picture.
And let's not forget trying to fit the bass into the car every time.
And 2, 3. One more.
Congratulations, everyone.
There's some other family members there as well.
Oh, sure.
I got it.
Pictures.
Thank you.
Good. All right. Thank you.
Great job, all.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Canstracci. Next up, we are celebrating our Toys for Tots. Our district has celebrated our 19th year for Toys for Tots. The Board of Education would like to extend a heartfelt thank you to our district volunteers whose outstanding efforts have made a meaningful difference to our community. Our 2025 volunteers: Amber Lanigan. Amber. Kara Granado. Dana Lensack. Dana. Samantha Moore. I know she's here, Samantha. Hey, Samantha. Thank you. Brian Sim. Steve Gary. Les Decker. Jason Purvis. John Kelly. Rebecca Hartigan. Elena Spiewak. Dave Coyne. Darian Goldman. Bob Stalker. Tammy Stalker. Ray Cox. Frank Watterson. Stacy McGraw. Dan Reifenberg. Ken O'Brien, Stephanie Flood, Sam Bertrand, Heidi Duso, Tracy Boyko, Aaron Scott, John Barone, Kathy Oliver, Victoria Valentino, Sue Tizone, Steve Twarog, Teresa Tran, and Dick Gilligan. Thank you all
Now
very much.
A real applause.
I think we've taken enough pictures. I think that's what Mrs. Lanigan said to me before. Folks, thank you all so very much. Dr. Perry, would you like to extend your thanks?
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see the growth over the years. It's not just the collection of toys that our community participates in and stuff in the bus, but our drivers and communications staff have worked together in collaboration to help deliver meals. Mr. Boardman, our school social workers at the building level help to reach out to our families in need, and our drivers, transportation staff help to deliver those on their own time to our families. And so I really want to extend our heartfelt thank you for another successful year in helping our communities out. So thank you all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. At this point, if you would like to take your leave from our meeting, you certainly may. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you so very much.
Except for the government.
Government kids have to stay. We'll make it worth your while. All right, agenda item number 5, superintendent update. Dr. Perry.
Yes, good evening. Couple updates. Our State of the District presentation, this will be our 6th annual State of the District update, will come out at the end of January. We're working behind the scenes to film a little bit different highlight presentation for this year. A little bit of a Phil Donahue for those who've been around for a while, or maybe a little Oprah. I don't know which one it would be, but wanted to have a little fun with it, but also get that message out, highlighting what we've accomplished throughout the 2025 year and what to look forward to in 2026. Just some tremendous work going on academically, socially, character-wise, and just want to thank our staff. We're looking forward to that. School calendar. This is the time of the year where we are drafting our school calendar. The process goes through several different groups. Later this week, I'll present it to the professional council, which is a group made up of teachers and administrators to look over the school calendar draft for 2026-27. We try to align with the Capital Region BOCES and area schools as part of that process, but we will bring it back to the board after several sets of review on February 3rd for anticipated adoption. So those are looking forward to that 26-27 calendar. We'll bring it back for February 3rd. So stay tuned. Coming up January 20th through the 23rd is our high school Regents exam week. So students will be finishing up their first semester studies, taking some midterms, taking some Regents examinations. And then at the end of that period, the following Monday, the 26th, is the start of our second semester. So for those that are wondering about report cards and when things are on the portal, it's usually the first week in February when grades will go out there. So parents that are wondering, there's still a few weeks left in the second quarter, first semester, but that information will be going out. The MyRide bus app, we've been piloting a piece of technology with our transportation department and some of our PTA officers, trying to get information on an app that will help families track the departure and arrival of the school bus. So far during this pilot period, which is running from mid-December through mid-February, the feedback has been positive. We're looking forward to gathering that, making some adjustments, and then presenting it to at least one full school for the spring. And then hopefully for the fall, we open it up to the entire district. So just something to be aware of. It is progressing. It is a piece of technology that should help both students and parents know when the bus is arriving or if it's running a little bit late. And finally, just a shout out, Eye Care Mac and Cheese and Chili Cook-Off, Friday, January 23rd, the end of Regents Week. So after your studies, bring your appetites. Village Community Center, 4 to 8 p.m. So looking forward to that. And I know a lot of hard work's going on by our student leaderships groups behind the scenes, and looking forward to a good night.
All right.
Dr. Perry, I think it would be interesting for the students that are here today to know that some of us are going to go, you're going to go to the legislators. I think
Absolutely.
if you could,
So part of our budgeting process, which we're beginning the process now, is to work with our representatives on both the Senate and the Assembly side to voice what our priorities are for our individual district, but also what our regional priorities are. So some of the things that we're looking at obviously are foundation aid and the support for schools to sustain programming. Members of the Board of Education and myself will join a few other neighboring districts to go down and talk to our representatives in their offices in Albany and talk about those legislative priorities. Regionally, I'm also part of the Capital Region BOCES Superintendent's Legislative Committee. We recently held a breakfast for the area representatives to talk about those priorities. And I think it not only provides us some face-to-face time to collaborate, but talk about issues that are important to our schools. One issue that continually comes up is how do we support students in their daily studies with the portion of the graduate, and how do we support them in the mental health side of things. So our representatives are there. They're helping to support our schools in a variety of ways, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to participate in government for those students that are doing that. It's the next stage of trying to continue to advocate for your individual communities.
thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. Agenda item number 6, new business. Board members, Mr. Blakely.
I wanted to start off because if you notice in the agenda today, there's some retirements. Miss Eicholzer was a teacher of mine when I was at Colony. Probably one of my favorite technology teachers. So I want to congratulate her on a wonderful career and thank you for your impact in my life, as I'm sure as well as a number of other students. Additionally, just some community things going on, but Junior Wolfpack is doing a girls flag football spring season for kids in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. It starts April 2nd. It's an 8-week long program. If you're interested or your student's interested in playing, it's a really up and coming program at the high school level. Love to see more kids at the younger level get involved to build it. You can register online at colonyfootball.org. If you have any questions, check out the Facebook page, or you can reach out to Ed Wunsch, who is the president and current commissioner of the Junior Wolfpack, or Coach Wagner, who's the varsity girls flag coach.
Thank you very much. Mr. Larrabee.
Sure. I have 3 things. I'd like to congratulate senior Liv Hoffman, Livy, for being selected as Channel 13's prestigious first selection for girls basketball this last week. Secondly, I would like to bring up to a sport that sometimes doesn't get its just due, but they all are important. And that is, some people in this room might still think that the pool that we have is on the 3rd floor at South Colony. No, we combine with Schenectady for a varsity swim program. And congratulations to those athletes of the week that won that recently. And lastly, the most important one, I was able to see in today's social media posts from the district and our local government that South Colony was able to complete the first in-house EMT program that was done in our district. And congratulations to all those students that were able to receive that. I think is an amazing thing.
That's fantastic.
That is very cool. Thank you very much. Anyone else? Ben.
Following off what Dr. Perry said, Mac and Chili Cook-Off is on January 23rd, and pre-sale tickets are available on the district website and on iCare social media pages. Just a reminder for everybody, PACFest this year will be on May 16th. There'll be more information on the district and iCare coming soon, and we're looking to change things and keeping things the same. It's going to be just as good as it is always. But in March, Lion Q is holding Mamma Mia on March 12th, 13th, and 14th That's on the district website also. And there'll be more information coming from Line and Q soon. Payless for the Dress is gonna be on January 29th this year. And we're accepting donations for all men's, women's, dresses, suits, shoes, heels, anything from now until 29th, which is the day of the broadcast. And also, the class 2027 is promoting a parents' night out for elementary school students on January 30th. There's more information on the district blast and just where you can register your child. And lastly, next week is midterms. It is going to be a hectic week and next week for all our students, and good luck for everybody.
I do have a question with the pay less for the dress. Somebody was asking bridesmaid dresses.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, pretty in pink, that's what I remember, you know, so that they can
What
do
time
things.
is it broadcasting?
I believe that our students get there around 4:30 in the morning, and I think they start broadcasting around like 5:30ish.
I think,
when?
yeah. 9 or 10.
11. Yeah.
Cause I went last year around 10 and they were.
Yeah. Broadcast is probably
Why
done.
don't you meet us there at 4:30 then?
Okay.
Us. Mr. Casey will pick you up now.
Absolutely.
I was there one year.
I'm up that early, you know that.
When we get all the information about dates and times and when they're gonna be there, I'll let the board know.
I'll invite a coffee roast.
Oh.
Is that an early student day too? The students come in that time?
They're students. The eye care kids are in at that early.
In the morning.
And that's a lot of hustle.
But they're
And,
there.
I was gonna say, it's
Great.
pretty energetic.
Yes.
so,
Mr. Keen.
I know we recognized some of our transportation folks earlier. But I know, a group of us had the opportunity to go out and sing some holiday songs for our elementary students. And there was a great, Mr. Sim was our driver, and many of his drivers joined us. So it was a great day, good energy. And then the next day, they were delivering donations to families in need. I don't know if that was the same as, but I know that was highlighted, and certainly that's helpful. We also had the opportunity to visit the education program at the county jail. Little eye-opening to hear the paths and plights of these young men, and not everyone was, some were older than I had anticipated, and approaching this. And then we followed that up with a visit to the community program at Colony Center through our through our SPED program, and watching, hearing about their activities each day, the work that they do at Boscov's, the work that they do at Market 32, living, it's great to see that opportunity for kids to broaden their skill set beyond the traditional formats that some of these programs have delivered for them.
Very good. Yes, thank you very much. Anyone else?
Yeah, I would just like to add to what
Mr. Keel.
Mr. Keen said about being at the jail. These are, it's a class taught by a South Colony teacher, Mrs. Brazell, who teaches these, in this, the people we visited were young gentlemen who are incarcerated, but they're working on their GED or their Regents diploma, so that after, and we talk to them there and ask them, not why are you there, but how can we work with other students so that we provide for the betterment of all of our students. So we got some good hints on attendance and what makes school good for them. Why are they doing it where they hadn't done it before?
The parenting program that they talked about,
Mm.
having that opportunity to read a book to their child through essentially YouTube, and then the jail will mail the book to the family, so that the child, it's parenthood is a tremendous thing for me. So I can only imagine what it's like to miss out on that opportunity to watch your child grow and thrive.
And
So
it was true that most of those young gentlemen were fathers.
Yeah.
Mhm. And we're talking 18 years old, 18, 19, 20 years
Yeah,
old.
and then
And
you
their
know,
message to our kids is, stay in school.
yeah.
Stay
I
on the
mean,
straight
you know,
and
and I appreciate Vincent joined us. 'Cause I
Yeah.
think it gives a unique perspective.
It was very good.
I see it sitting as a 52-year-old. You're seeing it from, 16-year-old. So, curious if you have anything to add.
It was,
Sorry.
one of the, out of all the things I've done so far, being on the board is probably one of the best things I've gotten to experience. Just listening to those gentlemen, and the parenting program is probably one of the best things I've heard. That's truly like one of the most beautiful things that I think the jail offers for their
And
parents.
and again, that's Mrs. Brazell who
Yes.
does the parenting
Yeah.
portion of it too. It's not just,
Kim-
it's not just teaching, it's,
And Kim's doing such a great job there, and I think it's a great opportunity for those gentlemen and boys, and I really do. It's their perspective and what they told us really, I think that will help us here on the board.
Very good.
I've just got a couple of,
Go right
we
ahead.
together can talk about the winter concerts.
Yes.
That, well, first of all, back up, I did attend, as I told you in a previous meeting, I attended the concert at Proctor's that our young people attended, and that was super. But these guys, these concerts are as good. What Mr. Conestracci and all of the staff do, the singing and the music, it's wonderful. So I only got to go to one of them. I don't know if you got to do more than one.
No,
or
I
not, but,
did, we went to a very great one though. That was true.
you know,
Yeah.
where they do the Hallelujah
Hallelujah.
chorus. And
That's
It
always.
was as good as
Superb.
usual, and Mrs. Can't see
Miss
Ted. Oh,
McCarthy
she's
in the
back there. She
background.
knows how great they are.
Yeah,
Very good.
Miss McCarthy.
And I just wanted to mention one more thing. Since I've been on the board, I've been meaning to do this, but I now have about it's going on 5 pages now. I have compiled a list of all of the educational acronyms. So if you want to know what the GAO is, just contact me and I'll tell you what it is. Because we come up with those acronyms all the time, and
That's gonna
the
go
list-
on, that's gonna go on the website for a parent resource.
well, eventually we will do that.
And I
But
think it needs to go into your onboarding book.
That's right, that's right. we
the
have
the
one.
list is ongoing because every time I go to another meeting, I get 4 or 5 more.
Yes, the
So,
educational speak.
Well, anyway, that's, if anybody wants to know, I got my list
Government
here.
accounting office for those that are wondering at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me know.
Thank you.
All right, last call, anything else? I can't believe my sports guys missed this. Our own Vincent Mastriani continuing to burn up the wrestling world. I thought so. Hey, Ben.
What, sir?
Hey, Ben, can you tell us what you've been up to lately?
All right, well, I'm currently 29-2 this year.
Uh-huh.
I won Thomas Chicanis up in Hudson Falls. I won Saratoga. I won Mid Hudson. I took second at Eastern States. We don't talk about the finals match there, but it's been going pretty good so far. States are next month just about. I have a duel tomorrow, duel on Friday at Colby Center. You guys should come. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna beat Shaker this year.
Yeah, you are.
When is the battle at the mall?
It's gonna be Friday. It starts at 6.
All right.
Friday and Saturday, right?
Saturday would be youth in the morning.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right, so Friday.
Yeah, don't worry about Shen. That's not gonna be a good one for South Colony.
All right. Well, congratulations. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Question for Vince, sitting in
What's
the
up?
back row. Tell us about the Eastern States. Give us a little history on that. How big is that? How many schools, et cetera?
So this year, I think it was about over 200 teams went. And Eastern States in the wrestling world is the hardest tournament in New York. Pretty much, it's harder than our actual states because we have 2 different like brackets. There's gonna be big schools that are like us, Shen, CBA, Saratoga, and small schools that are like Salem, Cambridge, Duanesburg. And so they combine both of those and they just make one big bracket. And I had a 64-man bracket. I wrestled 6 matches. I went 5-1. I beat state finalists in the semis, 3 state placers along the way, and then in the finals I had 2-time Virginia Beach national champ. He's currently ranked 9th in the country, committed to NC State. Yeah, I kind of knew what was gonna happen going into that night. It went well for a good 30 seconds. I took him down, and then he stood right back up. And then I tried doing a mat return, which is where like I pick him up and put him back down. It's a lot of wrestling, but he rolled. It didn't go well for me. I smacked my head. He reversed me and pinned me. But every other match before that was a dogfight, and I was able to win. You know.
All right.
Good for you.
Mid Hudson, that's another hard tournament. I won that. I got most outstanding wrestler there for beating CBA's one and only Luca Papaluzio. But yeah, I think you guys are tired of hearing my wrestling story.
Never.
I can go on forever if you want.
You go get him this weekend. You go
I
get him.
will.
All right. Thanks, Vin.
Thanks,
No
Vince.
problem.
All right, everyone. Moving along, we are up to agenda item number 7, communications. We do have one, do we have any online? Okay. We do have one request to address the board. This one is Kimberly Maroney.
I'm gonna just check outside.
Okay, you're gonna check outside. Hello, Kimberly Maroney. Hi, I'm Stephanie Cogan. You'll be addressing me. You've read the rules here.
Oh, yeah,
So, okay, go right ahead, please.
okay. So tonight I'm here to address the concerns that I have regarding instruction during January 20th through the 23rd for the life skills students at the high school students. And during that time period, that's when the Regents exams are given. And I'm concerned because classes aren't in session. And it's, my daughter counts on school as because this is my daughter, Charlotte. She counts on school as like the center of her world. She looks forward to seeing the bus drivers, the teachers, everybody.
I'm not for 100.
And she doesn't take part in any of these assessments at all. So she's not going to be going to school during that time period. So my question is, what is she going to be doing? I'm gonna be taking time off from work. My husband's gonna be taking time off from work. And why can't these kids be in school during that week? And I don't understand because their teachers won't be proctoring the exams because they are in the life skills program. So I've been told that it's been a past practice that, kids aren't in school. And just because it's a past practice doesn't mean it's the correct practice. Things need to be revisited. I'm a teacher myself, and in my district, Averill Park, we constantly are looking and seeing as needs change, needs grow. We have to adapt for the kids. That's what we're here for. And no one else but the kids. And I teach middle school all day, and I come home to my second job at night. And it is a huge challenge. But, we're coming off a almost 2-week Christmas break. We're back in school for 2 weeks. She's gonna be out of school for another week. For kids like this who thrive on structure and routine, it is throwing her off greatly. And it puts me in a difficult position because number one, she can't be left unsupervised at all, not even for 5 minutes. Whereas her counterparts, we could leave a typical 15, 16-year-old, because she's 16 and a half. A typical 16-year-old could be left home alone. And we all know that a lot of us are parents, but she could not. So I'm gonna be taking time, my husband's gonna be taking time off. This decision seemed to be a top-down approach versus a shared decision-making, which concerns me because I don't think, input was taken from the parents at all with regard to this. And, we're important. We're with these kids all the time, and we need to be heard. My next concern is for the Regents Week in June, from the 10th to the 26th. I've already looked at the schedule. That's when they start. what happens to these kids from that time period? From the 10th to the 26th? That's 2 weeks and 2 days. What happens to them? Do they stop attending school from that time period? Because the extended school year doesn't start until after July 4th. So that means she would be stopping school June 9th, and now starting up again until after July, so July 5th, July 6th. I mean, that's a long time for her to be out of school. And as a teacher preparing to I give Regents exams myself to prepare 100 students to take the Regents. I have to be there. I can't be out of work preparing, honey, I love you, finish please, okay? I love you, all right? I need to be there. And so there needs to be a plan coming up. These kids ain't been in school. I'm pretty sure there is an attendance requirement. I have to be in school 180 days. I'm sure the kids have to be in school a certain amount of days. And if they're out for, Regents, which she doesn't take part in, how is that attendance requirement being met? I mean, these are questions I pose to all of you on the board. Can this be looked at before Regents gets here and we run into this problem? Whether it's a past practice or not, that doesn't matter. The needs are growing. There are more of these kids every year, and things need to be addressed.
We don't have any help. It's just Kim and I that are raising Shiloh. We don't have a respite. Her mother is elderly and can't help us. So when she's not in school, we have to take away from our vacation times and be home with her because we cannot leave her home for 20 minutes. I mean, it's very difficult.
And for those of us who use, it's called self-direction through OPWDD, we can't access any of those services because it's considered a school day. So we can't access any of our money to pay for help because you're considering it a school day. So we can't get any help because we're in a bad spot. We're in school technically, even though she's home. So, I mean, like we're in a vice grip, literally. So like I said, something really needs to be done because we have no relief. So I just posed this to you that we really need to come up with a plan before June gets here. Because obviously, this decision has already been made and, I talked to many parents of students in her class and they're pretty much all on the same page and we've communicated with Dr. Perry through several emails, but I wanted to bring it to the Board of Ed because I think everybody needs to be aware of what's
Ms.
going
Maroney,
on.
just to let you know, we have made changes last year for the June Regents exam period. We anticipate those same changes. So our students in our life skills program will have an extended school year. I believe that when the exams start, it's a reduced day, but we do have plans and we'll make sure that's messaged out to families.
Okay, because this is the first I'm hearing about it, so I just want to make sure.
Yep.
And also, will it be addressed that next year during the January Regents
We're
as
gonna
well?
look at that part. I think I've shared before, but I'll follow up with you personally, let families know as how we can look at adjustments in future Regents exams.
Please, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Maroney. Agenda item number 8, board committee reports. Letter A, audit and finance. This is Mr. Blakely, committee chair. Mr. Blakely, if you'd like to make any highlights or if anybody has any questions regarding the report of the Academic Achievement Committee. Oh, excuse me. Shouldn't this be audit and finance? Audit and Finance Committee meeting that was held on December 9th, 2025. Not to give you the old switcheroo, but the Audit and Finance Committee, because I don't know that you can have answer questions on the academic.
Yeah,
achievement.
probably not.
So Audit and Finance, and it is hyperlinked, so you can take a look at it.
Just in relation to audit and finance in the district, budget season is coming up. And every year I encourage our parents and our students to attend board meetings from now till the budget vote, because it's really important to know what you're voting on, future voters and future students who are going to be eligible to vote. Know where your money is going, know how the budget process works. It's an in-depth process. And we often get to ask questions a lot of times about that process. So by going to those meetings, you do learn and get a little bit more insight into how the budget is built and what's going on. So it's really usually my message this time of year is come to the meetings, especially as the budget stuff comes out. It's important to be here. Here, everyone, I appreciate it.
Anyone else? Thank you very much. Letter B, Transportations and Facilities. This is Mr. Casey, Committee Chair. If you have any highlights or if anybody has any questions on the Transportation Facilities Committee meeting that was held on December 11th.
Thank you, Madam President. A couple of things have concerned me. The number of vehicles going past the stop school buses, mainly occurring on Central Avenue. And when Mr. Sim, the Director of Transportation, was here, he shared with the committee some staggering numbers. September, 197 vehicles went past the stop school bus. October, 312. In November, 194. As far as I'm concerned, that's really unacceptable. People got to pay attention.
For those doing the math, that's 703.
That's quite a bit.
I had a note, so I'm glad you're talking on this.
That's quite a bit. When you see that big yellow submarine stop and the lights come on, you gotta stop, period. I would hate to think what could happen if you didn't, and we won't even go there. So that's one of my concerns. The other one, Dr. Perry mentioned a little while ago, My Ride app. I would strongly urge people to start taking a look at that. We had a presentation, we were brought up to speed on this My Ride app. It's interesting. You're gonna get a real-time location of the bus, whether it's late, whether it's early, et cetera. So take a look at that. Get on board, if you will, so to speak. The other one that I think is a pretty exciting also is we will be receiving our first electric school bus this coming year, 2026. It's going to be pretty exciting. We got that through a grant, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't cost us a dime. We got the mechanics all ready to go, so that's going to be kind of interesting to see how that works. The other thing, as far as the facilities, I'm sure you've seen all of the things being built around the district and the building, the high school, et cetera. But I think the one that has me really excited is the new library being built up at Veeder. If you haven't been by there, looking at all that wood structure that's being built, that's, I hate to say this, but I think some of the other elementary schools are gonna want their library taken down, one built like the one that's being built at Veeder. It's cool. I think the kids are gonna get a real kick out of it. So if you go by there in the next couple of months and watch that being built, it's exciting. A lot of things going on. I'll answer any questions if anybody has any. We've got some bids going out for Sand Creek in January this month. Transportation Center, some changes are coming at the old BOCES building. That's another exciting piece. So I will certainly entertain any questions that you have. Mike?
I think my question may be more for Dr. Perry. But you mentioned the tickets, and if I calculated correctly, 703 at $250 a ticket, assuming it's the first ticket, is 175,000. And I know there was a contract that came with this. I'm just curious about the timeline of the contract.
Yeah, so originally it was a 5-year agreement, but it's between the county and bus patrol company.
Right.
School districts do not receive any of the revenue from that. The law strictly forbids it.
Forbids. Okay.
So all we're looking to do is try to improve safety for students and staff, community members, advertising that. We've worked closely with Albany County. They've done advertising, they've done radio ads, they've continued to do campaigns every year. And they are doing, some of the revenue has helped some of our programs. So they actually have given back to driver safety by helping to fund the educational component for a couple of our faculty members to go out to become driver's ed instructors.
Okay.
So although we don't get the direct money back,
But they can
all the counties
allocate
that
it through
can
grants
employ,
and such.
work with us on that, and
Okay.
they're trying to do things that are promoting, but yeah, it's several years in at this point in time, and
Right.
we're still seeing, hundreds of pass buses each
Yeah.
month.
So,
Very
no, that's helpful, because I know, just trying to understand if, we talk about Albany and just the speed cameras that they have at $50 a ticket. And, just where that money's going and what it can support. So we won't talk about the Albany County ad. It's a different story.
The thing to understand too with this school bus thing is that the first time it's $250, second time it goes up, and the third time, as in baseball, 3 strikes, you're out, you lose your license. Or you can do some time in the county jail. Plus, the other thing is you get, on that school bus is a lot of folks, pride and joy.
Mhm.
We certainly don't want anything to happen to any kid on any bus, on any street, whether it's here in this district or across the state or across the country. It's devastating. So get off your phone, not you folks, get off your phone, turn down the music, pay attention, you're driving a rocket ship. Be alert. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Letter C, policy. This is Mr. Larrabee's annual final reading and approval of several policies,
Yep.
Mr. Larrabee.
Does anybody have any questions on the board, over the 4-5 policies that are, up for final reading and approval? Well, if you do, you don't want to talk about it now, there's the link right there, and you can take a look at it afterwards. On behalf of the policy committee, upon the motion made by committee chair member Christopher Larrabee, recommendations that the revisions made to the above stated policies be approved as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Thank you very much, Mr. Larrabee. Agenda item number 9, reports for information. Letter A, 2026-2027 preliminary budget discussion. Mrs. McAllister, it's all on you.
Okay. Tonight, we're going to go over some, brief things for getting ready for budget, and then we'll dive into a little bit of the, transportation O&M and O&M's operations and maintenance, so our facilities department, and then our athletics department, heading into our, 26-27 budget. So our priorities this year are academic equity and opportunities for all students, structure and sustainability program, continued exploration and implementation of Portrait of Graduate, and enhancing our facilities with our next generation colony project. Our financial trends, we have revenues where we have to look at how we get our money in. So where do we get our money from? We get state aid, federal aid, and our tax revenue. So most of our budget comes from our tax revenue, and this year we're expecting the CPI for our tax cap to be 2%. State aid, we're looking at with current law of the formula, an increase in our state aid, our foundation aid. So we will see those projections as the government does for executive runs as we get that going soon. And federal aid, we will see could see some changes, so we'll need to adjust for those. Overall, our revenues for 25-26 and our expenditures have a balanced budget is 139,550,500. So we will be looking at increasing that for the 26-27. On the expenditure side, we have our inflation to account for, which relates to our tax cap. Health insurance is looking at some increases this year for our Highmark, CDPHP. We have 2 plans for our staff to choose from. Both are seeing a pretty significant increase. And then our prescription drug plan, which is separate from our medical plan, is looking at a lower increase that we've seen in the past few years. So we're leveling off there, which is great. Salary trends, 3 to 5%. You'll see that as we go through, we're looking at 3 to 5%. All of our contracts, our collective bargaining groups are current. And it is early for retirement. There are some on this agenda. So as those come through, we'll look at that as we go through how that impacts our budget. And then pension contributions, we're still early for pension contributions of what those percentages will be for us to contribute to our teachers' retirement system and then our non-teaching employees, our employee retirement system. Those are our expenses. A little early to find all of this, buttoned up, but we'll look at some expenditure budgets. So as we look at our athletics budget, beautiful picture of our brand new stadium from homecoming. Program updates, I'm just gonna quickly go through some of these. If you have any questions, let me know. Field hockey, we added field hockey this past year. We're looking at JV and we have JV and modified programs. We're looking at adding a varsity level for our students in 26, 27, and adding intramural at St. Creek and Lexington. So that'll be program adds. Flag football, as TJ mentioned earlier, we have a great program for our girls at our varsity program. Next year we'll add a Mod 9 program, and this year the local program is picking up the that grade level. So 7th through 9th graders can play on the Mod 9 program for 26, 27. We would add a coach and an assistant coach. We're looking to add a second assistant coach for the varsity program to help manage all of the students. So with that coaching request, we have our points are assigned to each position, and that equates to dollars based on the teacher's contract. So as we look at each points that we have assigned to each position, that adds up to about a $15,000 add for coaching requests at the base level. I mentioned all of these as we were looking at program updates, and the great thing about this is that Mr. Romer brought it to our attention that we are pretty much equitable on all of our sports. So all the number of girls sports that we have and the boys sports that we have with all of these program ads is a great equity builder that we have in our district. So all of these additions that we're doing adds a lot of opportunities for our girls. Other requests, as we look through our equipment budget, we're looking at a neutral budget change from 25-26, updating some windscreens, some glass blackboard replacements, increasing some supply budgets to give our unified sports a supply line, and for any of the new programs that we're adding, being able to supply balls and uniforms and all of those things for those students. Facilities, we would like to continue to upgrade some of our gym floors. We have beautiful new mug gym, so we want to upgrade some of the older, outdated gym floors. The picture on the right is the camera in the pit. And we want to upgrade the black backboards to more modern usable glass backboards. Those would be future capital outlay projects that we'd work with the board on. Those are $100,000 projects that we build into the budget every year, where we get aid on the aidable portion from the state for our 65% aid of our building aid. On the horizon, we may have a girls ice hockey merger in the future. The southern side of section 2 would be looking to combine all of the teams together for a girls ice hockey merger. This is our current boys ice hockey team, which is a merger with Shaker and a few other schools. And then adding a girls modified wrestling program if the section does. So that would be something in the future that if the section adds these, we would add these ourselves to match what the other schools are doing. So if we add these, we would add those in the future, and something we would need to budget for in the future. Overall, the athletics budget summary has a 5.46% increase. I did add some additional funds for the referees, the new contract. So thank you for bringing that up at our last meeting. A little bit add there, brought us up a little bit percentage, but salaries, that includes our coaches, our athletic director, athletic trainer, our strength and conditioning coach, and all of our coaches. Equipment includes the things that we buy that are over $1,000. We have to, equipment lines are specific for any item that is over $1,000. Contractual, where we include any contracts that we have to pay for, and also our officials. Supplies are our program supplies, and then BOCES, we have the huddle cameras that we have to pay for our families and our teams to be able to use the film. So that is just an increase to catch up to all the cameras that we have, all the additional sports that we've added. Any questions on athletics? I'm going to go into our transportation department. We had a bunch of our drivers here tonight. This was from our school bus rodeo. Some great drivers that we have in this room. The priorities are technology upgrades, adding tools and safety for our EV in the future, and then safety overall. Our equipment budget, we have GPS tablets that we're looking to get additional ones. They help our drivers navigate around. We have 20 currently, adding 20 more. Equipment budget neutral, so the no change in adding additional funds there. Radio upgrades, laptops for office staff, door entry badge scanners. We don't have those at the bus garage. We have them at all of our academic buildings, but bringing the bus garage up to snuff there. And we can move those to any new transportation facility that we have. And then safety tools for EV, where there's extra things that we need to have for the new EV bus that we're getting, or electric school bus. So we need to make sure that we're doing that, and some staff room upgrade just until we get to the new facility to keep our staff feeling good about coming to work. So software, we wanted to add new software that allows our 19A trainers. 19A is the law that governs what we have to do for our bus drivers. So we have our a monitoring software which helps us file, and our file cabinet there, but helps us keep track of what trainings our staff need, drug tests, physicals, all of that stuff in the software. It just makes it more easy for our trainers and our supervisors to keep track of all of our 85 bus drivers. So contractual transportation, increasing that, athletics shuttles, increased charters a little bit, just to cover some additional trips, additional programs that we have. We need to make sure that we're covering those, so increasing those. This also allows our drivers to stay on their regular routes, so keeping our afternoon drivers on their routes, and then we have a shuttle go and drop the students off, and then our drivers will go later and pick them up. So it helps keep our regular drivers on their regular routes. Bus replacement plan, just continuing our regular 8-year cycle, adding 66 passenger buses, 2 24 passenger with 3 wheelchair, 1 16 passenger, 1 minivan or suburban. And then those would all be gasoline, diesel until our mandate comes in 2027. The increase this year is so minimal from last year. It would be and our aid is 63.5%. So they're aided over 5 years. I refer the board if you'd like to see the full bus replacement plan when our vehicles are expected based on when we ordered them. Mr. Sim included that here. Overall, our transportation budget summary is about a 3.63% increase with all of the items that we discussed. And the one, the contractual is where our transportation goes in. Insurance is our liability insurance, like to insure all of our school buses. So we need to catch up there a little bit. But salaries is pretty minimal, just our contractual increases, not adding any positions. Any questions on the transportation? Get through us quickly. Facilities, O&M, so operations maintenance is our facilities department. No budget impact again on our equipment. This is our beautiful maintenance department as they went through their holiday party. Continue with our truck replacements. Now we have some old trucks. We're trying to get to the new standard. So we would be, of our equipment budget, we would be replacing one of our old maintenance trucks, and one they would get recycled into a salt truck. Other maintenance equipment, we just have some small pieces of ground maintenance, some snow blowers that we're trying to split out into some a replacement program. We did half this year, we'll do half next year. Begin a replacement cycle of our clock system. We have a system that manages all the clocks, and the base units of them are failing. We're at the replacement cycle of them, so start managing that. We want to make sure that we're doing that. Custodial equipment, some vacuums are important. We need to keep our schools clean. Adding some mini scrubbers, some steam cleaners, continue our microfiber cleaning system, and getting washer dryers to help support that program. That helps us be able to manage that in-house at each of our buildings. We would continue with our seal coating and striping program with the maintenance department. Extend seal coating is important after we've done a lot of work on our new roadways. We want to make sure that we're seal coating them to make them last longer. So we want to make sure that we're doing that, and then continue maintenance projects identified by the board and staff as they arise. And the O&M budget summary is a similar minimal increase based on inflation and some supplies, utilities, items like that. And what's next? We have another budget meeting, budget discussion on our February 3rd board meeting. Then we have another board meeting on February 24th where we'll have our special education and student support services team join us. And then we'll have a budget workshop on the 3rd prior to our first draft. And then you can read the rest. Budget vote, May 19th. And that is all I have for tonight. Yes, Mr.
Before the presentation about the special ed, will we be getting information?
We will be emailing it to you, yes. and then we'll happy to discuss.
Part of the workshop lead into the instructional budget, we'll talk about it as well. Lead into the presentation, the 24th, we'll provide most of it between the 3rd and the meeting on the 24th.
A lot of that presentation has historically been a program update, and I think that that's really helpful for everybody, and then we can talk about any additions or anything that we need moving into the instructional budget.
But each year, there seems to be some new place we're going with a new person to be, to add it, which is, I'm positive about that, but I'm
We'll definitely
curious.
give you a heads up on that,
Okay.
for sure, absolutely. Any other? Speed version of budget. All right. I will transfer over to our next.
Thank you very much. Any questions? We're good? Agenda item 9B, AI update. This is Mr. Jim Lovett, Director of Technology / Data Privacy Officer. Thank you very much, Ms. McAllister.
We don't want to short Mr. Larrabee. He gets very cranky.
Thank you.
Teacher tools.
Thank you.
All right. Apologize for having my back to people. It's exciting to be back presenting. Thank you for inviting me. So we could spend 3 hours going over AI. We will not do that.
But we
tonight.
won't.
We will not. The voice of Mr. Backus never leaves my ears. So what we are going to do tonight is we are going to do an overview. With the hopes of maybe being invited back to Academic Achievement Committee or another where I can actually run a live demo and show you some of these tools that are amazing. So sometimes paper is best. There are a ton of tools available to teachers and to students. So I figured it would be easier to hand them out that way so that you could review them on your own time or just kind of get a look. There's honestly, we're going to talk AI and we're going to talk specifically Magic School. It's an exciting program. There's just so much in it that I just hope I can do it justice in the short amount of time that I have. So in spring of 2024, Mr. Cacciadorian and I sat down and we started reviewing goals of what we may or may not want AI to look like in South Colony. This is it was kind of early in the game, and we were looking at policy and what we wanted this to look like. And in the summer of 2024, I went to a CASDA hosted AI PD session. It was phenomenal. I can't recommend that particular, I hope they're still running it. It was great. And I do thank them. They did allow me to adapt parts of that presentation. I then used that presentation in some of my staff trainings. Honestly, some of it is in here. It was excellent. We then moved forward with kind of narrowing down where did we want to start with introducing AI safely to our staff members. So one of the ways that we did that in faculty meetings is to introduce what exactly AI is in education. It seems to be everywhere, and it can be daunting and it can be intimidating. And so to just narrow it down for our staff, because the goal was to make things easy. Our teachers are already stressed out, their pedal is to the floor. And so what we wanted is to be able to make their jobs easier, be able to make personalization of learning much easier, to be able to differentiate lesson plans, to provide remediation to some of our struggling kids or enrichment to some of our high flyers, to be able to differentiate assessments, which is highly beneficial to some of our kids with IEPs and 504 plans, just to make that sort of creation much easier for them. So the ability to differentiate quickly, to be able to convert documents, to be able to do text to speech, speech to text. And a big one was language translation. We were dealt a blow by Google, Google decided that they didn't want to be EdLaw 2D compliant. And we had Google Translate ripped out from underneath us almost overnight. And the fact that we were able to, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but Magic School was there
to allow our kids, our E&L kids, to be able to not lose access to translation on their Chromebooks. It's been phenomenal, and Mr. Boardman actually grabbed me today and said, make sure you mention that. And what is AI not in education? It's not gonna replace teachers. It is not gonna replace sitting at a kiddie table, listening to a kid read. It is not gonna do that. It is not gonna solve every problem. It should not be another something that box that teachers have to check, and it should not be a separate assignment that is going to steal valuable instructional minutes from an already tight teacher schedule. Okay, it's just the whole point is that it should make life easier. So I could double the amount of popular AI platforms. When I built this, I just tried to keep it somewhat clean. So some of the heavy hitters in AI in the upper left, you got ChatGPT, Claude, and Canva. Gemini is a big one, kind of an up and comer. That's Google's product. Pi, Perplexity, and Copilot, which is Microsoft, and then the aforementioned Magic School, which, again, if you can't hear the excitement in my voice about Magic School, it really is awesome. So, again, before, and this is Mr. Kachadorian coming through in me, it's the why. You know, what is our why? And so our 7 principles for AI in education. What is our goal? Why are we doing this? We're not just doing this to do this. What is our goal? Within that, we need to make sure that we stay within, because again, AI can be scary and it can be used for bad. So we want to make sure that we're staying within board policies, state policies, our existing goals and our visions for instruction. We want to continue to promote solid digital citizenship and AI literacy, be able to address the risks and the benefits of AI, maintain our academic integrity, not lose our human touch. We're going to hit that again as we talk about the 80-20 rule. We cannot forget, because AI is only going to spit out what you put into it, and it's not always accurate. And then circling all the way back around, evaluating the what is our why. Okay. So jumping from the what is to the Magic School. So Magic School is a K-12 specific AI platform. We had 110 plus teachers run a pilot for us starting about a year ago. It went amazing. There were people jumping in on that pilot all the way up through. I did it asynchronously, and I was getting emails straight up through. I actually extended the deadline of when it needed to be done because I had people in April and May saying, can I jump in and do this 3-hour PD? Of course you can. So we kept going with our asynchronous PD. Our pilot just kind of became a program, summer trainings, and we just kept rolling it out. So there's 80 plus teacher tools available for our staff. Again, on your sheet, there's lesson plan generators and rubric generators and text proofreaders, which I can't tell you the number of times I use the text generator or a text proofreader in a week. You know, the number of observations that we write and emails that we send, just run it through the proofreader, and all of a sudden, I'm a good writer. It's crazy how that works. And there's also the student-facing tools, which is where we're starting now. So in this spring, we will start rolling out our Magic Student element. And the way that works is teachers create a room and they add students to the room and they add tools to that room. So of your list of however many 4 pages full of student tools, the teacher will add the appropriate tools that they feel will benefit their curriculum. Some are silly, create a skit, but also could be valuable. So as teachers create rooms, and that's how the Translate side works, the ENL teachers have created a room and added the Translate tool. We will continue to roll out Magic Student, which is exciting, and look forward to all the developments that we can come across through that. Again, because it is K-12 specific, it is going to be compliant with EdLaw 2D, with FERPA, with COPPA, and integrates with Google Classroom, single sign-on. Are those in your book?
Not yet.
Okay. So we want SIPA, COPPA, FERPA. Okay, those are good ones. So
and I'll note that, I'll sign those for you if you want, okay? And it integrates with Google Classroom and single sign-on, and so there's a security element. Again, we're talking about an AI platform that is built for the K-12 environment, okay? Okay, so as we kind of round third and head for home, because I know that there's gonna be questions. The best practices are, as we noted in our kind of 7 key elements, to always be checking for bias and accuracy. As much as AI is everywhere, it's still kind of new. And every time AI gets information put into it, it learns, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everything it produces is correct. So we have 500 professional teachers who know content inside and out. And so what we are training them to do is, when you get an output from AI, use your professional judgment to, is that what you actually meant to have exported out of AI? Does that meet your goal? Is that accurate? The 80-20 approach. So use that 80% of AI for developing, and then make sure the final proofread, the final context is human. It comes from you. And prompts, and this is true of ChatGPT, this is true of what you put in is what you get out. Garbage in, garbage out. So for something like a Magic School, entering the standard, the audience, how many questions, if you're doing a quiz generator, the more you can put in, the better information you're going to get out. And from there, you can export to Google Docs, and it's really outstanding. We are encouraging our staff to explore the teacher tools, all 80 plus of them, and star their favorites so that they become more readily available. And the Reina chatbot, essentially it has, ChatGPT where you kind of type in, and that's what Reina does in Magic School. So if you log into Magic School and you're overwhelmed, or you're not sure how to do something, or if you're looking for an exemplary prompt, you can go into the Reina chatbot and say, what would be a good prompt to spit out this lesson plan, and it will point you in the right direction. All right. So 5 slides for now, 6 slides for now. Again, I would love to come back and be able to pull Magic School up and run a live demo. Maybe bring a teacher, maybe bring a student. I don't know, however you guys want to do it, but questions.
Can you talk to focused on Magic School, but Gemini was on there.
Mhm.
Gemini is a Google product.
Yep.
Is that EdLaw compliant?
It is currently,
Interesting.
we don't, actually, I believe it is currently.
Okay.
Google is going through some new licensing, and I don't want to misspeak, especially while it's being broadcasted. I believe it is, but I would want to double check that. However, what we have done is we're using Magic for students, okay?
Yep.
Our staff can use ChatGPT, they can use, but for students with PII, Magic School.
Right.
Yep, Magic School.
Within the school building,
Yeah.
from
yeah.
home.
We don't want, if you're gonna be, entering student information.
Right.
Test information, we're gonna keep it to Magic School. We know that's safe, and we know that's compliant. We don't wanna have them doing 6 different tools. We're gonna Magic School, and all the tenets of, if it's a best practice in Magic School, it's a best practice in Gemini.
And I know one of the things, working with my own IT team is when the system does an update, you sometimes have to reteach it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that similar here?
Not so much.
Okay.
No, not so much. Nope, it's kind of just always up to date.
Will there be anything let's be honest, students are using AI to write
Yes.
reports and do their work. Shouldn't be.
It's all blocked. It's all blocked in school, right? Yeah. So theoretically.
That's some honest answers. I like that.
So theoretically, we have tried to limit, again, we don't want to rush into this because of the dangers. We're trying to do this slowly and correctly. And there's no rush into this.
I guess my question is, on the teacher side, will there be maybe there is, I'd have to read through the whole thing, and I apologize, but will there be tools for teachers to say mass check students' reports for any indications that AI helped create this, or any, is that something?
So that gets built into
like the Google Classroom side or in the Schoology, Canva, that gets built into those, like those plagiarism checkers.
Yeah.
That gets built in. That being said, there are other AI related tools that teachers can use, things like Human Reader, and essentially what they all do, and this is good for you guys to know, because I know college professors, if you're gonna use Canvas or something like that, the way, a lot of times what they'll check for AI is, in Google Docs, when you upload your document, it will play a video of the document being created. Okay, so if it goes from nothing to copy and pasted, you're caught.
Oh.
Right? So it's gonna show all of the typing, the backspacing, typing, the proofreading, and then there'll be a little, this sounds like this is a natural human tone, and this is casual, and as soon as it skips over to mechanical, you're caught. So, and it's a good, this is exactly the type of lesson that we are trying to teach our kids as we do this slowly.
Thank you.
Jim, you want to talk about summer work and our October plan? Just to tease it?
Absolutely. The plan for our October Superintendent's Conference Day is to do an AI summit. So we are doing curriculum review board work. We're gonna put together a small group of teachers to take these teacher tools and do screencasted, here's how you use this. Here's how you use it. Here's how you use it in your classroom. And then for our summit, we're looking to have a guest speaker. Honestly, the sky's the limit for October, but the plan is to make it an AI summit.
To have it, quick impact, just like we're trying to plan for March right now, and in our tier 1 instructional focus, it's gonna be 45-minute, quick hit, best practices by best practitioners. We're building toward that.
We have a wonderful audience here that I'd like to ask. Do you have any comments about AI? Anything in general or anything you'd tell us about it? Good, bad, indifferent?
They all know their way around it, I can promise you that. I'll stop. You guys know what you're doing.
No? Well,
I have a question. When we do this teacher AI summit, what are we gonna do there's gonna be teachers that will not wanna do it. There's gonna be students that people think it's ethically wrong. What do we plan to do to combat that? Are there gonna be exceptions? Teachers have to do this?
Well, the day that the summit happens, the students won't be in school. So in terms of teaching teachers, it's gonna be just about information, about best practice, just giving them the information that they need to make their own decisions within their classrooms. There is no mandate within it. We're not collecting lesson plans and then running them through an AI checker and say, you didn't use Magic School, you're in trouble. That's not what we're doing. The goal of this is to make life easier. If there's a teacher who doesn't want to put this in play because it's just not for them, then that's okay. We can talk about their why, but we're not gonna go around and arrest people for not using Magic School. That's absolutely not what we're gonna try to do.
In my free site conversations, Vince, and for everyone, the greatest commodity that we can rescue back for teachers is time. That's what we're looking for.
Yep. Thank you.
So I'm curious about kind of building off of the concept of, ethics and philosophy of AI, how we're attending to teaching students how to use AI responsibly and not necessarily just through these tools, right? Like my son just completed his freshman semester at UAlbany, taking 3 classes that were centered on AI, and he just had to cite what he used.
Yeah. And AI doesn't do that well.
Yeah, and so the children are very far ahead of the adults in a lot of ways. So I'm curious about even the naysayers and the folks who have both ethical and philosophical concerns, or just are just very entrenched in their ways, which is fine. But how are we ensuring that the system is built in a way that all children get to learn about how to use it responsibly, how to use it effectively, and by design and not by chance, based on what teachers they have, because some folks are saying like papers and pens out because I can't even let you use your Chromebook anymore. Versus those who are, because the children are going out into the world and will need to know how to.
It's a bigger, it's a conversation that isn't necessarily just AI, it's a digital citizenship
Yeah.
conversation. And so this just becomes a part of the digital citizenship conversation that we're trying to improve that every day. We have digital citizenship built into many of our library programs, and a lot of our classroom programs. And can it be improved? Of course it can. As things change, we have to change with them. But that conversation about AI could be used for Google Docs, and it can be used, it's always gonna be something that we're gonna have to work on. It's part of my job to just constantly be evolving that digital citizenship conversation. It was one of our 7 pillars to maintain academic integrity and be aware of the bad that you can do with AI, and with some of the image generation stuff that is going, it's not only, I mean, it's illegal, it's so scary that, yes, it's a very big, scary conversation that we always have to keep in the forefront. We're gonna be fighting that fight going. What?
Where is it woven specifically in the curriculum?
It's currently built into the library curriculum. It's not necessarily a pull out.
So that's an elementary then?
Specifically in the elementary, and then in the middle schools in the Liz Bell, Jane Alman's classes. Yep.
The libraries are doing yeoman's work right now,
Yeah.
and as we move forward, what that vision is going to be, they're helping to shape in conjunction with Jim. But just like personal finance, just like climate education, just like the iterations of what we're going to do with Fortune of a Graduate, our leadership studies class that's emerging, there's going to be an ethics and AI course that's going to have to be mandatory, I feel, as we're making our way in the right direction for digital citizenship. It's on the horizon.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a big problem.
Very good. Thank you. I think we would be interested in seeing
Yeah.
something at the
To be continued.
committee level.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. Agenda item number 10, reports and recommendations for actions. These are letters A through J. Goes on to page 7. The superintendent recommends approvals of the following. Please take a look. Should you have any questions? Let's
Question on
hear them
letter
now.
E.
I'm sorry,
Question on letter E.
E.
There's a 6 to 8% charge on top of the fee for their utilization of a third party.
Been going on for.
Been going on for a while.
That's insane. Sorry.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, credit card or check, they're.
Well, no, and they charge you more if you pay by cash or check, which even more insane, but. Okay. And I know that's the third party that they connect with. I'm just curious if, if we have that many requests for this type of service that they could be handled at
Mainly
the
around
town level.
our athletic events, so football games.
No, but for them, are there that many requests that they can't handle it at the town level?
I think
I'd have,
throughout the town, from businesses to the school districts and things of that, yeah, they get thousands of requests for that. Officers to be involved. Did I answer your question, Mr. Key?
yep.
Anything else? As always, a special thanks to the donations, always appreciated.
Need a motion.
Yes, I need a motion. Thank you, Mr. Keen. Second, Mr. Mason. On the motion made by Mr. Keen, seconded by Mr. Mason, that the above stated reports and recommendations be approved. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Agenda item number 11, personnel instructions, pages 9 through 14. Mr. Rabalati.
Thank you, Mr. Kogan. We've reached that part of the cycle in the year where we start to get retirement notifications from the bargaining groups. We did make a change last year where we actually had an event where we acknowledged the retirees, which makes me feel a little bit better about kind of rushing through the fact that these individuals have combined for 313 years of service.
Wow.
In the district. And if you say it backwards, it's still 313.
Thank you very much.
6 of the 11 individuals that are on this list were high school teachers. They worked in high school where I spent the majority of my career, so I've known them in a couple different capacities. One of these individuals was a student teacher in 1996 when I was in a class as a high school senior, and then was hired that fall. Has been here for 30 years subsequent to that. I would love to talk deeply about majority of these people and what they've done for that school and the students in there, but that's not good use of our time right now. We'll use that time in June when we meet with our retirees. So I just want to thank all of them sincerely for all of that service to the district, to our families, to the community. It's really impressive, and I thank them from deep down as I can thank them for being great people and mentors to me, but also great teachers to all you guys. So congratulations to them. This is, there's 11 here. I have 7 more that didn't make the cut for this agenda, and I'm sure I'll get a couple more in the next few days. So
Because what's the window?
15 of January.
Oh, coming.
That's tomorrow?
That's for
Thursday.
the retirement incentive. Teachers can notify at the end of the year if they
Right.
are not interested in that or don't qualify for it.
Beyond that, someone starting their career with us, so I'd like to recognize Ms. Nims for welcoming her to the district in the second semester to teach chemistry. There's certain professions and certain areas that we don't always have a surplus of candidates in. Chemistry is one of them, so we had to be patient with Ms. Nimmons. So we're glad to have her with us and picking up some of those sections. So when you look down, those are not new overages, those are revisions to overages
Okay.
based on the new staff member who will be taking on those sections. So congratulations to our instructional staff on their retirement, welcoming Ms. Nimmons to the district. The rest is just normal business stuff. We won't talk about
No people business, thank you. All right, may I have a motion? Ms. Gigliello, Mr. Casey? On the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Casey, that the instruction personnel changes listed on the attached sheets dated January 13th, 2026 be approved. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Agenda item number 12, personnel support, this is pages 15 to 17. Mr. Ravelati.
Let me back up for 1 second. There are a lot of things worth mentioning, but I do want to mention Ms. Kerrigan, the varsity girls field hockey coach, which is on there. That was a discussion that we had prior to this, but we want to welcome her as the varsity
yeah.
coach and building that, continuing to build that program up. Ms. Kerrigan is a teacher with us, but now our varsity coach. So that I did want to spotlight that because it's unique that we put a fall appointment on now, but it's so she can start doing that work.
Right.
Program throughout the year. All right, support.
Yes.
We had 2 retirements, not as many years because there's only 2, but this, on the support side, the deadline extends itself to mid-February for some groups, so that those will come in time. Bonnie and Holly will be deeply, deeply missed in both of their buildings. They put a tremendous amount of time, 26 and 24, that's 50 years of service to the district. And sometimes our support staff are just taken for granted and overlooked, but they're just as integral to every part of the school day as our teachers, as our administrators, you know, our bus drivers who get you there, and our support staff who answer the phones, talk parents down when they're nervous about something that's going on, or they're in the classroom with your students supporting them. They are not often commended as much as they should. So congratulations to Holly and Bonnie on their retirements. We hope they have an enjoyable next 6 months. And they certainly have earned this time.
It's true.
The rest is business.
Thank you very much. Questions? Take a motion. Mr. Casey? Mr. Blakely, on the motion made by Mr. Casey, seconded by Mr. Blakely, that the support personnel changes listed on the attached sheets dated January 13th, 2026. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Agenda item number 13, resolutions, African American History Month and National School Counseling Week. Mr. Cachadorian.
Yes, I provided a nice summation that we collected from all of our schools. Of note, we're gonna revisit what typically runs out of Leishakil, because that's where Jackie McAlmont is home based, but she usually sells shirts for Black History Month. And that money goes to support a primary school in Guyana each year, so they're looking to continue with that initiative. I highlighted a specific thing that Mrs. Cuno leads with our librarians, particularly in the elementary schools. But there's a variety, as you read through there, of very intelligent and insightful ways in which we want to make sure that we celebrate that month thoughtfully. But not only that, as Melissa Judge had pointed out to us, we don't just celebrate it during that month, but we celebrate it all year, all throughout our curriculum, and we're continuing to make strides at getting more voices that reflect the students in front of us there in our education. So it's a good list. It's good information for you to read through, and certainly we want to make sure that I take a moment and say thank you to all those who responded to my queries as to what's going on. It was hit back with me a little bit quicker than normal, which is nice. It means that they're thinking about these resolutions and they're planning forward, which is a good thing, and they're doing it collectively, which is also good.
Comments, questions? Hearing none, take a motion. Ms. Gigliello, Mr. Mason, on the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Mason, that the above resolutions be approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Agenda item number 14, future meetings. Any questions? All right.
Excuse me, is it March 3rd? Did we add that on? That's a new thing?
That's, it was part of the budget calendar, so we added that in
Okay.
just so it was highlighted, but it's part of our budget.
Okay, the March 3rd.
It's
I just
not a
checked this.
regular board meeting, it's just a workshop, so we'd encourage people to attend, but yeah.
Check as you see them.
Right?
Yeah, you just got over.
Any other regular business for the board? All right, it is anticipated that the board will enter the executive session at this time for personnel item. Thank you very much. May I have a motion? Ms. Gigliello, Mr. Larrabee, on the motion made by Ms. Gigliello, seconded by Mr. Larrabee, to enter executive session to discuss the employment matter. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries 9-0. The time is 8:03. All right, that concludes our regular session.